Hi guys, and welcome to another episode in my Makeup Diaries series. I want to say this is episode 19. I've been doing these for quite some time and I am... Oh god, where do I start with this? So the last two Makeup Diaries that you've seen was when I was away for my Scrabble tournaments, and I did a little bit of, not vlogging, but I showed you the makeup that I brought and all the makeup that I did during the trip. And now that I'm back home, I still have like so many clips from before I went on my trips for these kind of videos, but honestly I'm just gonna start over because I have like 3 different memory cards and I probably have like 3 or 4 clips on like each of those of like older clips that I've filmed for these, and I'm just a little bit overwhelmed, so I'm just gonna start fresh. We're gonna scrap those are old anyway, you've all probably seen those looks already, so we're just gonna start from fresh, like I said. So for today's look, well, if you're new here, wow, this is a mess of an intro, but this is what you're getting today. If you're new here, what I do in these videos is basically I show you usually like 6 to 8 looks that I've done in a, period of time within a couple of weeks, something like that. And I show you everything that I use on my face. I give you reviews of all the products that I've been testing out. A lot of these products are products that maybe I don't want to do separate videos on, or just, show you the products that I use on a daily basis that I don't really talk about in my other videos. So for the first clip, I'm going to show you the base products that I use. I tend to use the same ones like in most looks, so we're just going to kind of start there. I've actually been using this foundation, so this is the Urban Decay Stay Naked. This is the only foundation that I have right now that is my skin tone as of this very moment. I feel like I had a little bit more of a tan in the beginning of the summer. It's starting to fade a little bit, so like this is a perfect shade for me, so I prefer using a shade without having to match something else or mix something else. So this is what I've been using. It's in the shade 40NN, which is I think light medium neutral or something like this. I really like this foundation, and yeah, I don't really have any complaints. I have very oily skin. It lasts for a long time on me, and it just looks really, really good throughout the day. It doesn't really break up. I can easily wear it for like 14 hours without touching up. I am not someone who touches up. If I need to touch up my foundation, it's not the right foundation for me. That is just how I feel. I feel like my foundation should last until I take it off at night, but maybe that's just me being very picky, but I've found foundations that do that, and if they don't do that, it's just not for me. So let's move on. My concealer is the Lancome Tainted Ultra Wear. Where did I put that? It's the Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. So I've been using this for months and months and months. This is a great concealer for me. The shade is perfect. I have mine in Buff, which is the light neutral. And right now it's a little bit lighter than my foundation, but when I don't have a tan, it's basically the same shades as my foundations that matches me. And it's kind of like a medium coverage, super easy to blend out concealer. It's just effortless. Sometimes I'll put it under my eyes and like the other areas of my face where I put it and I start blending, and like it's almost like I forget to like blend certain spots because it just like melts into my skin and it sort of just blends itself. So I really love this. The powder that I use, because I do have very oily skin, like I said, is the Wet n Wild translucent setting powder. I like this powder. It's cheap, it sets my makeup, it does what I need it to do. I'm not picky when it comes to powders, but this one doesn't do anything weird. It just looks good on the skin, it sets my makeup, and it makes it last for a long time. So that's why I've been using that one. Right now I'm still on the Pat McGrath bronzer kick. I've been really liking this for basically ever since I bought it. I think it's just such a nice powder formula, and Pat McGrath just has nice powder products in general. I love the blushes too. I think they're the perfect amount of pigment while still being pigmented but not too pigmented, and they just blend and like diffuses so nicely. I never have any problems with them looking like too much, but they're still, they have a lot of color to them, but they're just so easy to use. So I just really, really enjoy this. The blush I'm using today is one that I feel like I haven't given enough love to, but mostly because it's just not my favorite formula. But I gotta say, I really enjoy the one I used today. So this is the Juicy Cheeks palette from Blend Bunny, and I used a shade called Raw. I actually find this palette, which is a more like bright palette, more user-friendly for me than the more neutral palette. So I'll show you kind of a side by side. I feel like this is supposed to be like the neutral palette, but I find that all of these shades are just the colors of the ones that I like in this are too pigmented and too dark for me, whereas the colors I like in this one, I just feel like they're a little bit easier to use. Like even this one and this one, these two, this one's a little too pigmented for me, but Like I feel like these are more the kind of depth that I'm looking for in my blushes compared to what these are. So I struggle to make these work for me. Like I feel like these colors just aren't really, they're not really my thing. And like this corner here, which is the kind of colors that I would go for, are just a little too, especially these two are a little too dark, a little too pigmented, this one a little bit too light, a little too white based, and this one is nice. This is probably the only shade in this palette that I can say that I genuinely like and I use, but the other ones are just not really, they're just not really colors that I go for. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on that. Let's see, let's move on to the more, I was gonna say fun stuff, but let's go through the brow products as well. I'm still using the same things. I actually made an order from West Barnes & Co. and I got one of their like brow pencils, not the brow pen, but the brow pencils, which has like a spoolie and a pencil on the other side. This is my favorite brow pen of all time and brow pencil. Like these products from this brand are so good. This is the one that I use to draw like hair-like strokes. I don't have a lot of brows, so this has been such a good product for me. I have mine in the shade Brew, and I also have the darker shade, which they're both very similar. It's a super fine brush tip liner, and it just creates the nicest strokes. I wish that West Barnes & Co. would come out with a liquid eyeliner, because I feel like they would kill it. Like they could literally just use the same exact thing and put like black in here. Maybe I should just buy, do they have a black brow pen? Like I feel like it would be the same kind of thing and just be amazing. So yeah, I really like this. If you're looking for a brow pen, I will link all of the products that I'm talking about, unless they're not available anymore, down below in my description box, as well as my codes, and I will mark if I have things gotten sent in PR or if I got them myself. Now let's move on to eyes. So the palette that I'm using today is a pretty new palette. I should have a 4-look video up with this already. This is the Glaminatrix Sugar and Spice palette. So it looks like this. It's quite a neutral palette, but I feel like they did a really good job making this color interesting while still being mostly a neutral palette. This is a palette for people who like both colors and neutral, likes to mix them, but also likes, you know, a little bit of everything. I feel like if you're only into neutrals, you might not like this as much, but if you like pops of color, this is going to be the perfect palette for you. I've had so much fun with this. Like I said before, I have so many clips that I filmed for like my other makeup diaries. I did not film the clips that I did in this video with this palette for this video, if that makes sense. So I haven't told you like the rest of my face that I use together with this palette, but if you want to see the looks that I've done with this palette, just go check out the dedicated review that I have on this, because I have had a great time with this. I think it is an amazing palette. My lashes today are the Unicorn Storm lashes from Unicorn Cosmetics. I love the brand so much. I think they make amazing lashes, and I feel like they always just look so good on me. I don't know, there's something about like the styles and the flares that they have, and just everything about their lashes are just awesome. Like I will say my application today is not perfect. This should have been a little bit further out, or this should have been a little bit further in, but no one's gonna notice, and you probably didn't either until I told you. So yeah, I really like them. I think they're absolutely stunning, and my jewelry is as per usual from Ana Luisa. It's mostly the only jewelry that I use because I just love them so much. My lip combo today is the Lisa Eldridge lip liner in the shade Fawn. I think, yeah, it's the shade Fawn. And then on top I have the Natasha Denona My Dream lip gloss, which is one of my favorites, but I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like ever since I got this, like it's looking a little bit discolored and like off. But like I'll use it and it's totally fine, and it smells totally fine. It just like, it looks kind of gross. Like it looks like it's separated, but it works totally fine still. Maybe I just need to like buy another one and see if this one is defect or something. I don't really know, but yeah, I really like it, and I'm still gonna keep using it because I love it, even if it's maybe not supposed to be on my mouth anymore. I don't know, but yeah, I really like it, so I'm just gonna keep using it and hope for the best. I think that's pretty much it. I guess I want to mention this one as well. It's not really like a makeup product, but I got a package from ColourPop, and in that package was a set of a lip scrub and like a lip balm, and I used a lip scrub stick for the first time today, and this is wonderful. Like this is so nice. It has a lot of grit to it, but it really exfoliates your lips. It doesn't make a mess like the lip scrubs that you pull out of like a jar. It's really, really nice. It smells great, it tastes great. Like I literally just like, this is gross, but like I basically just ate the remnants of whatever I had left on my lips because it tasted sweet and very good. So yeah, this is a really good product. I really enjoyed it, and I will leave it on my desk and keep using it, hopefully every day if I remember, because I am the worst at exfoliating my lips because I usually just find it to be very messy. And I don't like things that are messy. I like things to be easy and clean, which is why I don't like to use my fingers to apply makeup or put stuff on my hands, because I don't like it. So I think that's gonna be it for this first look of the video, but I love this. I think it turned out so good. I'm so happy with the palette, and I think tomorrow's look is going to be with the new Sugar Drizzle palette, which you probably also seen a video with already if it's a palette that you're interested in, but I'm excited to play with it, so you will see that right now. For today's look, I wanted to test out some things that I got sent from ColourPop that I didn't want to make a dedicated video on because I felt like I was just a little bit too late to the game, so I thought I would just kind of include some of the things in this video. I didn't use a ton of them, but I will tell you the things that I did use. My base products and stuff are pretty much the same still, up until blush, which I'm using one of the blushes from one of their new collections. I don't even know what this collection is called, but I think these are the ones that are being sold at Target, if I'm not mistaken. They definitely should have this on their website still. It's in the shade Wish Me Luck. It's a beautiful blush. It's kind of like a satiny blush. I wouldn't say it's a glowy blush. It's maybe a little bit glowy, but it has a little bit of color to it, not too much. I think if you're someone who likes more of a subtle blush formula and something that's not super matte, I think you're gonna love these. Personally, I wish that it had a little bit more color to it, but maybe I just picked the color that was a little too light because I didn't realize it would show up lighter on the face than it does in the pan. I don't think I've tried this blush formula from ColourPop, and I like the formula a lot. I just feel like this color maybe isn't perfect for me, even though it is very pretty. I'm still going to probably get some use out of it. I might like end up mixing it with something that's a little bit darker as well, just to get like a little more color on the face, because I feel like it didn't do as much as maybe I wanted. Like, I know it looks really, really good, and this is what a lot of people are looking for, but I kind of wish that there was just a little bit more, just a tiny bit more, but that's okay. I still think it looks beautiful. I'm also using a palette from ColourPop, and this is the Naruto palette. Like I said, I didn't want to do a dedicated video on this because I felt like so many people have done that and it's just a little too late, but I still wanted to try it because I think it's a fun color story. I didn't use a ton of shades in here, I'll be completely honest. I mixed these two to make sort of a cool tone transition shade, and then I used this shade to deepen it up in the outer corner as well as underneath my eye. I used a little bit of this one on the front portion of my lid and this one underneath my eye. So I guess I did use a lot of shades. I used more shades than I kind of realized. I also used one of the Super Shocks from the collection. I don't remember last time I used a Super Shock shadow from ColourPop. I remember back in the day I had the shade Coconut, which was like a dark blue shimmer, and this is definitely not similar at all. It's more of like a denim color, which was kind of what I was going for because I wanted it to sort of go with my shirt. And I like it, but I don't think that the Super Shock formula, at least this color, is anything like special. Like, I don't see why this formula needs to be in like a separate container and it couldn't just like be included in the palette. Like, I would rather have had this shade in the palette than the dark blue glitter, because do you guys know how I feel about glitters? I know these are like eye safe glitters and they're not like big particles, but I still am not like, I'm just not the biggest fan of glitters. I find them just hard to work with, and it's hard to get like a blend with a glittery shadow. I don't know, that could just be me, but I way prefer this formula, and I wish that this shadow was like in this palette instead of the glitter, but that's just me. I do think the palette is nice. I didn't have any problems with it. I thought everything performed really well. I like the color selection in it. Is this something that they've done before? Yeah, probably. I mean, I feel like we've seen plenty of this from ColourPop. It's very much a neutral palette with a couple of pops of color, but I'm not mad at it. I think it's a nice palette, and yeah, I don't really have any complaints per se. I just wish this glitter wasn't here, but that's just a personal preference thing. I do think it's nice though. I'm also using one of the eyeliners from the collection in my waterline. This is a shade called Revenge, and it's like a metallic blue, and every time I use a metallic in my waterline, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I just feel like you can't really see the color when I'm looking at you. You can't really see the color in my waterline until I like pull it down, and then you see like a subtle sheen. You can't really see that it's like blue. I don't know, that could just be me. I'm just not the biggest fan of like metallics in my waterline. I do think it's a pretty color, but can't really see myself using it a ton. My lashes today, I'm pretty sure, are the Dreamer lashes from Unicorn Cosmetics. I don't know, I don't have the container anymore because I brought these on my trips, and yeah, I put them all in like a little compact and I don't know what's what anymore. But these feel like the Dreamer lashes and they're some of my favorites and they're falling apart, which makes me sad. And I've already made another order from Unicorn Cosmetics because I cannot be without their lashes because they're so pretty and they take a while to get here. So I like to kind of make my orders far in advance so that when the pairs that I like fall apart, I already have a backup. So that's pretty much it. There were a couple of lip products in the collections that I received, but I made a Sephora order a few days ago and it already came in. I needed a new mascara and I needed, what else did I end up buying? Oh, I needed another concealer. So I bought those and I also picked up another one of the Gucci. What are these called? These are so pretty. The Rouge de Beauty Brilliant. I don't know, but these are the slim lipsticks that are sort of that sheer formula, but still has some color to it. They're just so wonderful. I love this formula. It's one of my favorite lipstick formulas of all time. I had a brown one and I've been using it so often, but I wanted a color that wasn't like a cool tone and something that was a little bit easier maybe to wear and reapply, and I went with this one. It's so pretty. Like, I love this. This is quickly going to become one of my new favorite lip products. I can just tell because this is going to go so nicely with all of like warm tone looks and even cool tone looks like I have on today. It's so beautiful and I'm using it with the lip liner in the shade Fawn from Lisa Eldridge. Perfect combination. Honestly, these two, you'll be seeing these a lot because I hate saying the word obsessed, but I love this. I think it looks so good and it's so comfortable, so pretty. And it's everything I want in a lip combo. I think it's just beautiful. My highlighter today, I haven't mentioned yet, is from the Pat McGrath palette, the Holiday palette. I just wanted something that was sort of a little bit toned down, but still, you know, just kind of pretty. And I didn't want like a yellow highlight or anything like that. I did use a bit of blue highlight on my brow bone, which is from the Blend Bunny palette, the Noctilucent palette, of course. Is there anything else? I think that's pretty much it. I really like this look and I like the look paired with the silver and the gold. I bought these from Ana Luisa after I did my last sponsor video with them and they were like silver and gold together. I think that's so cool, and I put on a silver and a gold chain, and since I have like cool tones and warm tones, I pulled in the gold on my lower lash line just to kind of tie it all together, and I think it all just works so well. So I really like this look. I'm excited to wear this the rest of the day, and yeah, that's gonna be today's look. I think I'm gonna use the Sugar Drizzle palette tomorrow. I realized that when I got dressed this morning, I didn't really want to wear green. It just wasn't the vibe I was going for, so we're gonna save that for tomorrow instead. So I did end up filming with the Sugar Drizzle palette, which I feel like I showed it already, maybe I didn't. No, I probably didn't because I had this in my living room, but here's what the palette looks like. So this is the Mojito palette. As you can tell, it's absolutely stunning. I mean, look at these shimmers on my eyes. Oh, so pretty. I used these two on my top and then I used these two, no, these two on my bottom. I did not get a chance to try the multi-chrome or this one, but I did try all of the mattes. I have two in my crease and one underneath my eye, and so far I really like this. I think it performed great. This should be available now when you're seeing this video. I do have a code to Sugar Drizzle. Everything will be linked down below in my description box, like I always say. I'm using another one of the blushes from the ColourPop collection. I still don't know the name of this, but this is the same blush range that I used in my previous look, and I was kind of hoping that because this shade looked a little bit more intense in the pan, that it would show up a little bit more on the face as well. But I will say, even though they're quite subtle, and I think that's because they're more of like a satiny formula, it doesn't have as much kind of pigment to it because the shine kind of, I don't know, makes it a little more subtle. I will say, I think the formula is great. This is a really, really, really pretty blush. And even though it looks very intimidating and like orange in the pan, it's very wearable, more kind of like a peachy orange. And it looks really, really good on the face. So I actually really like these blushes, even though they're not quite as pigmented and buildable as I would like in a blush, but that is obviously just personal preference, and I think a lot of you are probably going to love those blushes, and these are obviously affordable because they are from ColourPop, so I'm going to try to link them down below. This is a shade called Dancing Queen. Really, really, really pretty color, and because I wanted to wear that blush, I'm still using the same lip combo that I did. I think it was in the first look. I'm using the Lisa Eldridge lip liner in the shade Fawn together with my new Gucci lipstick. I might not have said the name of this in the first clip. This is the shade My Cousin Rachel, which is a really, really funny name for a lipstick, but I've been wearing this the past couple days and I love it. There's something about this formula that is just so nice, and it's very hydrating and it's quite long lasting, and it just looks really, really nice on the lips. It makes you look like you have like nice and plump lips without hurting. Especially using a lip liner with them. I love the amount of pigmentation that are in these. They're not like super sheer, but they're also not super pigmented. So I can use a lip liner that's sort of the same color as the lipstick, and they just blend so beautifully together. And I think that, like I said before, these are like the perfect match. So yeah, I'm just really, 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 really excited that I picked up another shade of this formula. It's quickly becoming one of my favorites. I think it is so pretty. Let's see, my highlighter today is the Noctilucent palette from Blend Bunny. I'm using the pink shade on my face and my brow bone. I'm gonna put on just a little bit more because I did just go over with the blush, so I just wanna make sure I have plenty of that on. This is just so pretty. Like, I really like the way that these highlighters look in daylight, especially out in the sun, because even though they're quite glittery, they just look so beautiful when the light is hitting it in a certain way, and that's not something that I can really replicate on camera because these lights that I have set up are not the best for showing off highlights, like, I'll be completely honest, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. My lashes today are the Unicorn Dreams lashes from Unicorn Cosmetics. I just opened this pair today because I got in my order yesterday. I'm so excited to have like another 8 pairs of these lashes, like not this style, but like from this brand. I did make the order myself. I'm not affiliated with the brand. I just really, really enjoy the lashes. They work so well for me, like lengthwise and style-wise for my hooded eyes. I feel like they're just wonderful, and I find them to last very, very long, and they are just easy to put on. I really like the thickness of the lash band, the way that they're curled. They're just really, really nice lashes. I would highly recommend you check them out. The only thing I will say, sometimes they take a while to ship, and the best way to buy these is to get one of their bundles, because basically if you buy a bundle of like 8, you get half off, and the lashes are usually like $11 to $14 depending on the pair. So like if you can get them for half off, it's a really good deal. If not, they're quite expensive. So just something to keep in mind. But I definitely feel like even buying like one pair full price, I think they're worth the money. I mean, Lily lashes are like freaking $24, $25 or something like that for a pair, and I feel like honestly the Unicorn Cosmetics lashes are better quality. That is just like my maybe unpopular opinion, but I think they're really nice lashes. So I think that's pretty much going to be it for what I'm wearing today. At least that's of importance. I did put some liner in my waterline. This is the 04 from Udensai. Really, really enjoy this color. My earrings are from Ana Luisa. My necklace, I'm not sure, probably like H&M or something. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but that's gonna be it for today's look. And I think the next look I'm gonna do might be with the new Florasis palette. I just get that in the mail the other day, and it's so beautiful, but I'm wondering if I should wait to film with that until it's actually available, because I don't know when it's launching yet. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see. You'll see that right now. So plans were absolutely changed. I was not planning on filming with this today, but then I was like, you know what? I have time and I really just want to finish this video. I wasn't sure if I was going to just scrap the looks that I had done with this palette in the past, because I wasn't going to be able to put them into like newer makeup diaries because they were such old clips and they were like spread out everywhere, and I felt a little bit overwhelmed, and I didn't want to start pulling in like old clips from older, you know what I'm trying to say, like I just wanted to start this from scratch. So I did film my 4th and final look with the Cosmos palette from ABH. I don't even know if I've shown this palette in any of my videos yet, but I've been playing with this quite a bit and I really like this palette. There are a couple of shades in here that I'm not the biggest fan of. Like the shade that I have in my eyes today is like the pink that you see in the front portion. I did pull in some of my Noctilucent palette just in the front here, but like right here I put this shade, and like you can see it in the pan probably, it's got little like glitter particles in the shade, but the glitter particles just disperse very unevenly and they look kind of weird on the eye. So like I feel like I have little glitters up here, and like there are spots on the eyes that don't have any glitters on them, and I just like, huh? Like, why are you doing this? This is not what I wanted from this palette. But overall, I'm really happy with this, and I will have, or I probably have posted that video already with a 4-look and a review of this palette. So if you want a more in-depth thoughts on this, I would say go watch that video. I can link that up there if you want to go check it out. But so far, really like this palette, happy I picked it up, and I really like the looks that I've done with it. Now, for the rest of my face, what I'm wearing is the Pat McGrath bronzer. I'm wearing one of the Pat McGrath blushes from the holiday palette. I'm using the pink shade. Let's see, I'm using, what did I want to talk about? I'm mostly using the Noctilucent palette on my face. So I've been trying out some new ColourPop products that I also got sent in the packages that I've already been talking about, but these are lip scrubs and lip balm. And I went to put the lip scrub on this morning before I started filming, and I'll show you what it kind of looks like in here. This is basically it. So it's supposed to be a lip scrub, but when I took some of it out with my nail, I didn't really get any scrub at all. It just felt like a lip balm. So I don't know if I have to like really dig in here, but I really don't want to do that because then I'm gonna get it like all under my nails and it's gonna be gross. So far not the biggest fan of the lip scrub. The lip balm, however, is really nice. This is nice. Like, I really like this. I would say if you're interested in a lip scrub, go with this one from ColourPop. This one came in a pack of 2. I've already shown it, but I don't know if you can buy this individually. I kind of wish that you could. It's from Fourth Ray Beauty though, so I don't know. I mean, I know that's a sister brand of ColourPop, but I don't know if they sell them individually. But if you can get a hold of this one, this is like probably the best lip scrub that I've ever used, and I love that it's in a tube, so I don't have to dig my nail into a container because I hate that. Another thing that was also in one of the packages was some of the new Ultra Blotted lipsticks. Now, when I put this on together with a lip liner, I was like, this is going on really nicely. It's like super thin and smooth, and now that I've worn it for a while, it just feels really dry. It could also just be because I am not the biggest fan of liquid lipsticks anymore, like any kind of liquid lipsticks. I'm just not really a fan. Like, I just feel like they don't wear well on me. They don't look good on my lips. Like, I have small lips and they really just like settle into lines, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's giving me kind of like a line right here where it's like dried down, and I'm not a fan. Like, it doesn't feel good, it doesn't look that great. The color is beautiful, but I will probably never use this again. So those are kind of my thoughts on those. Like, if you like the old Blotted lipstick formula, you'll probably like these, and I remember liking it in the past when I didn't know any better, but now I'm like, yeah, no, not really a fan. I'm probably not going to be using that. I was going to maybe film with these today. These are like some of the palettes from ColourPop as well, and I might use these tomorrow because I don't have anything else that I really need to film with. So let me just take a look at the palette. They did send me like 4 of these, and this is the only color story that I'm really interested in trying. It's actually kind of pretty. Like, it's going to be a very neutral look, but I think this shade together with this one, I think it'd be pretty. Maybe I'll use that tomorrow and do a look with that. And I also want to try another one of the blushes, which is more of a dark blush. So I think I'm gonna like that one a little bit more. So yeah, I think those are gonna be like the things that I should mention that you don't know about yet. Everything else on my face is pretty much the same. My lashes are from Unicorn Cosmetics. I don't know the style of these. I think they're the Dreamer lashes, but they weren't in their box, so it could be anything. And this is one of the new necklaces actually that I bought from Ana Luisa myself. And it's got like pearls on one side and more of like a chain, like a silver chain on the other. I think it is so cool. Like, every time I do a sponsorship with them, I get to pick out like the 10 pieces that I want the most, and then they'll kind of send me some that are in stock, and I've always put this on my list, but they've never sent it to me. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it myself. I think it is so pretty. Like, it's kind of classy, but like cool and trendy at the same time. I don't know, I really like it. Not sponsored, but thought I would mention it anyway, since it is kind of a different piece, you know. I feel like I would get some questions on it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm wearing today, and I'm going on a date night tonight, and I like this look. It feels very appropriate, and I feel very pretty. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's look. So just a quick little update from yesterday's look when I was wearing this lipstick before I get into the rest of my face today. This ColourPop Ultra Blotted lip, is that what it's called? Ultra Blotted lip. Oh my god, I struggled so much to get this off. It was honestly painful. So I would not recommend this unless you are the kind of person who likes your lipsticks to stay on for hours and hours and hours and not be able to take them off. Yeah, I felt like I was rubbing my lips for like 5 minutes to remove that, and it was not a pleasant experience. So let's talk about today's look instead, because I'm using more ColourPop, and I had a better experience today, and I did use the palette that I said I was going to use. So this is the Daydreaming palette, and I like it, but I don't love it. I thought the mattes performed pretty good. I used this one and this one in my crease, nothing fancy. I just did a very basic transition shade and a deepening shade. And I used this shade and this shade on my lid. And I also put a little bit of my Noctilucent palette just in my inner corner. The shimmers in this palette are just kind of blah, and that's just in general how I feel about ColourPop shimmers, but I am also very picky when it comes to shimmers. Y'all know that. I like my shimmers to be very out there, very sparkly, very dimensional, very shiny, and I don't feel like these are that. This is a very subtle duochrome, and I feel like they've had this shade in other palettes in the past, and back then I quite liked it, but that was because I didn't have anything to really compare it to because other brands hadn't come out with like the same shade in a better formula. So I don't know, I would say if you don't have a lot of makeup and you're not really looking for anything special, you just want like some eyeshadows to wear on a daily basis, these would probably be fine. Like this is probably good for you and this is all you need. But for me, who has a big collection, who's very picky with eyeshadows, this is just kind of whatever. I wasn't really having the best time with that. One thing that I do really like though is the blush that I ended up using. This is a shade called Cosmopolitan. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. Like, I think this could be my favorite kind of like red blush. And like, yeah, I know it's not like red on the cheeks, but it has the perfect amount of pigment, the perfect amount of sheen to it. And it's so easy to use, even though it looks very scary in the pan, but on the face, it's so beautiful. And I really like it. Like, this could easily become one of my favorite blushes. Like, that is how much I like it just on my first impression, because I think it is absolutely stunning. So for the rest of my eyes, I'm using some lashes from Unicorn Cosmetics. I don't know which ones these are, I'm sorry. And I'm using 2 of the liners from JD Glow. I did sort of a brown wing and then a pink wing underneath. I don't know, I needed something to like spice up this look, and I also used a little bit of the pink one in my like lower lash line area. The brown liner I don't like. I feel like the applicator on this is too stiff and it doesn't pick up enough product, and it's just like, it's hard to work with. And that's one of the things that annoy me the most with these, is that they're so inconsistent. Like the pink one is perfect. It's honestly really good. Like the formula is really nice. The applicator is nice and bendy, which is like how they're all supposed to be. I don't know what happened to some of them. It's not frayed at all. It's super easy to use. Like this is the same kind of formula and applicator I feel like that are in the old tubes, and I don't know why they're all different. But like the brown one I would not recommend it. I don't know if it's like depending on the color or what. Like I can't tell you for sure if the other brown ones that they have are the same as the brown one that I have, or if the other pink ones are great. But let me know if you bought any of these and like which colors work well for you, and if you have issues with any, I would love to know, just to like see if it's the same as the issues that I have with mine colors, because they might not correspond. Like I really don't know. Let's see what else. My lip combo today is the Natasha Denona My Dream lip line. Look how small it is. It's like so tiny. It's making me sad. I need to buy another one at some point. And then on top I have the Gucci lipstick in the shade Lunette Stone. This is one of my favorites. This is the reason why I ended up buying the other one. Where did I put that? That might be in my bag actually. But yeah, I really enjoy this formula. I think it is just so nice. It's like, it's sheer, but it has color at the same time, and it wears so wonderfully. It's so comfortable, and it just looks great on the lips. And I really like the color of this. It's kind of like a cool tone brown, and I feel like with cool tone looks, it just looks amazing. And together with this lip liner, I can wear this lip liner with like anything, and that's why I love it so much. That's why I keep reaching for it. But yeah, I really like this look. In the end, I do wish that I kind of topped this look with some kind of a more special shimmers, but on the other hand, it's like kind of understated, like kind of cool at the same time because of the liners. And I think the liners really helped. So yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be today's look. So I will check in with you tomorrow. I'm not going to make any promises what I'm going to use tomorrow, because I simply do not know. I thought since I didn't have anything like super new that I need to review and get up for you guys very quickly, that I could do another look with the Mojito palette from Sugar Drizzle. So I did a very simple look today. I only used 2 shades. I used these 2 up in the corner, but I hadn't used this shade in my kind of first impression / review video, so I really wanted to test it out, and I want to show you that you can do very simple looks with this as well. So I just did a bit of a wing shape, and I did this one in my crease and basically on my lid as well, and then I just topped it with the shade, and that was pretty much it. So super easy look. Again, I just wanted something super simple. I'm using the Blend Bunny palette as my brow bone highlight. I'm using the yellow shade, and I have a little bit of the green shade just in the front portion of my inner corner. So that is what is on my eyes. My lashes today are the baby lashes from Unicorn Cosmetics. I opened a new pair and I really like these. I like that they're like kind of small, but a little dramatic at the same time. Like I love how flare they are, and they're very just flirty and light, and they're just very pretty. So one thing that I haven't mentioned yet that I've actually used twice, like off camera, and when I made my Sephora order last time to pick up, what did I even buy last time? Why did I make that order? Oh, because I needed a new concealer. So I also put in one of these in my orders, and I had seen these Dior blushes from so many people. Everybody was raving about them. They say it's like a great formula, but then I'd also heard a couple of people being like, they're not pigmented enough, I don't know if I like them. And I swatched one of the other colors in store. They never had this one when I went to actually go see them in store. And they didn't swatch very good, and they were not very pigmented. So I was a little bit hesitant, but I was like, this is a bright enough color that it should show up on me. And I have to say, this is like, at this moment, my favorite blush in my collection. It is such a gorgeous formula. Like, I totally understand why people love it so much, and I do feel like it's quite buildable, but it's also like, it's the kind of formula that you can't really mess up, and it looks so nice. It's so easy to blend out, and I just think this is absolutely stunning. Like, now I want more colors of these, but I need to make sure that it's a color that's gonna like show up nicely on me, because I feel like this is their like brightest color for sure, like in this range. So if you have any of the other Dior blushes, let me know how they are and if you like them and how pigmented they are, because I'm very interested in getting another shade. So this is a shade called Cherry, and I guess that makes sense with the name, but I think it is so, so pretty. My lip combo today is, did I wear this last time too? I may have. I have the Natasha Denona My Dream lip liner on, which I cannot find because my desk is a mess, and I'm using the Gucci lipstick again, and this is in the shade Lunette Stone. I will of course have everything that I'm mentioning that is available down below in my description box. The next thing is not available anymore, and I know I keep using this, but this is the Pat McGrath palette from, was it last year or this year? I forget, but I'm using the highlighter in here, and I think it's just such a beautiful, very just glow from within, but still like pretty intense highlighter. I feel like I should put on a little bit more, but yeah, let's just do that, because why not? Like, I've said this many times, but I don't feel like my lighting setup is the best for showing off highlighters, but just trust me when I say this is such a beautiful, very smooth, but still like shiny formula, and it just looks absolutely amazing. So let's see, is there anything else? I just did some white in my waterline, and this is from NYX. Again, if I could find that, that would be great, but it's just a white eyeliner, and that's pretty much it. Have I mentioned my liquid liner yet? I may not have. I think I've forgotten my first look, but I'm using this one from Flower Nose, and I absolutely love it. Like, this is still going very strong. It's the skinniest tip eyeliner that I've ever seen. It's a brush tip, which I love, and it's very, very glidey. It doesn't tug at all, and it wears really well, and I love it for like tight lining. I don't love this for doing like bigger wings, where I do like my extended wings and stuff like that, and graphic wings. I find it a little too small almost. I don't know, but I really like this, and I would highly recommend it if you are buying from Flower Nose to try one of their liquid liners, because they're really nice. I think that's pretty much it. Still using Pat McGrath bronzer, and like the rest of my face products are still the same. My earrings, I don't know where they're from. They're very old, and I feel very overdressed today. I'm like wearing a satin dress that I got at the mall yesterday because I went shopping, and I had not been to the mall in God knows how long, like way too long. And I was like, I want to wear this dress, so that's what I'm doing. And if you've ever wondered about these that I wear all the time, these are like, I think they're called, can't find the name of them, but they're from the brand Half Tea, and they have all these like layering tees, and I love using them, especially in the summer when I know I'll be inside most of the day and I'm always cold. But if I know I'm going in and out of a car or something like that, and it's like 115 outside, these are nice because they're like very breathable, and just, it's, I don't know, I like having a sleeve on because I'm, like I said, always cold. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So I think that's gonna be it for today's look. I really like it. It's super simple, but very fun, very colorful, and I just wanted to wear something green today. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's look. So I think I'm going to call this the last look of this video. Now that I think back, I'm like kind of counting in my head, and I could be way off track, but I think this is going to be the last look of the video. So this is basically just something that I did because I wanted to play with this palette again, and this is the Delicious Delights palette from Cosmic Brushes. I just wanted to give this another chance. I wanted to play with some of the shimmers because I haven't really made up my mind on this palette yet, but I did a very simple look today. I used these two shades in my crease, this shade on my lid, and a little bit of this one just underneath my eye, and then I have the Noctilucent palette in my inner corner, and that's pretty much it. And I really like this palette so far. I don't really have any complaints. Again, I have not used all of the shimmers, but I feel like the shimmers in here are just not, they're not really colors and shimmers that I go for very often. Like there's a multi-chrome in here, which is a black base one, and it's just not really something that I use. These other ones, I feel like, yes, they go with the palette, but they haven't been the ones that I've been wanting to reach for with this palette. So I don't know, like I've just kind of wanted to do my own thing with this, and since I haven't done a dedicated video on this, I feel like it's a little too late to do that now. I'm just gonna properly review this in my ranking my next 10 palettes, which is going to be probably like 15 palettes, and it should be coming up pretty soon. I just have a couple of things that I still need to play with a little bit more before I've like made up my mind, but I just wanted to do a pink look because I wanted to kind of match my skirt. I was wondering if maybe I could put in like a clip of my outfits in these clips as well, because I know a lot of you want to see them. I've gotten a lot of people being like, I like your fashion style and I'd like to see more of your outfits. So maybe I'll start including just like a little clip, and sorry in advance from our bathroom always being super messy, but that's the only way I'm ever going to get myself to actually show you guys, because I'm not going to clean up every day because I am not a very tidy person, and nor is my husband, so we just have a messy house all the time. I'm not sorry because we're the ones living here, and if that bothers you, I'm sorry, but that's what we're gonna do. So it's a little, you've probably seen the outfit already, but yeah, I bought this skirt on Poshmark for like $10, and it ended up being a little too big, so I just took it in a little bit on the side just by sewing a little thing just to tighten it a little bit, and it worked wonderfully. So yeah, I can try to link the things that I'm wearing if they're available as well, like moving forward. I did just get this vest. It's from Express, and I absolutely love it. It fits me so well. So yeah, I really like my outfit today. I think it is super, super cute. And yeah, let's move on. So for the rest of my face, my lip combo today is the lip liner from ColourPop. This is in the shade Starship. Have I used this one before? I have like pretty much all of the lip liners from ColourPop because I bought their vaults. I really like their lip liners. They're a little probably too creamy for some people, but I don't mind them. I find that they dry down and they do a really good job still. And then on top, I have a new lipstick that I got from MAC. I bought this on National Lipstick Day, so I got it for half off on Ulta, and this is the shade called Can You Tell? It's their Luster formula, Luster Glass, and I haven't tried this one before, and I think it is beautiful. Have I mentioned this lipstick in another one of these clips? I don't think so. If I have, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself, but I think it is a beautiful formula. It is like semi-opaque, but opaque enough that I feel like with a lip liner, you don't just see the lip liner, you can like get a pretty opaque result out of it, and that's what I prefer in my lipstick. So I really like it. I think it is super comfortable and it looks really nice on the lips. So far so good. My blush today is still the Dior blush. I'm gonna be using this so much going forward because I think it is so wonderful. I've already talked about it, so I'm not gonna like rave about it too much more. My highlighter is the Noctilucent palette, and I'm just using the pink shade. Like the more I use this, the more I realize just how much product is in this, because it's like, yeah, I have dips, but I feel like I'm not even close to hitting pan in any of these, and I pretty much use this palette every single day. So yeah, there's a lot of product in here, good value if you are looking for a highlighting palette with a lot of stuff in it. So my lashes today are the Unicorn Dreams lashes from Unicorn Cosmetics. I love them. I think they're beautiful. I wanted kind of a smaller lash to go with this, and I think these were a good choice. My waterline is Crybaby from ColourPop. Let's see, is there anything else? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's gonna sum up this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you want to see some more Makeup Diary series videos, I do have a very long playlist. I'll put that right there. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.